Oh, they your older brother. That was his age. What God? Federations. They should have set federations for anything that we have games. Yeah. Right? Okay. Ronald, ready to go? I'll take third this game.
Good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to John Pratt Field, the site for Game 2 of the AABA Semifinals between Park Home and Locker Room. Here are today's starting lineups. First for Park Home, led by manager Steve Luciano. Leading off is the shortstop, number 1, James Stevens. The catcher, number 5, Mateo Williams. The pitcher, number 12, Lucas Musatelli. At third base, number 13, Jack Rowland. At first base, number 99, Trey Diarvin. The second baseman, number 27, Dylan Hescott. The center fielder, number 10, Casey Gamber. The right fielder, number 11, Jack Davis. And the left fielder, number 14, Colt Garvey. Substitutes today for Park Home are Michael Musatelli, Chase Buchanan, Cameron Carter, Hank Klingerman, LaRon Williams, and Joey Niemeyer. Other coaches are Matt Musatelli, Dave Baker, Matt Davis, Corey Rowland, and Josh Buchanan. And now today's starting lineup for Locker Room, led by manager Mike Rischel. Leading off is the center fielder, number 7, Lawson Pazowski. At shortstop, number 23, Connor Steele. The first baseman, number 11, Cooper Miller. Pitcher, number 10, Ty Rischel. The second baseman, number 22, Declan Lutz. At third base, number 3, Braden Augustine. Doing the catching, number 25, Mason Steer. At left field, number 12, Tobias Smith. And the right fielder, number 1, Carter Wilmot. Substitutes for Locker Room are Chase Piatti, Nate Buckley, Keelan White, and Henry Drum. Other coaches are Brett Miller, Anthony Augustine, Joe Piatti, and Dustin Schaefer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you're able and remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. Starting pitcher for Locker Room is number 10, Ty Rischel. It's game 2 of the AABA semifinals here between Parcombe and Locker Room. After quite the game last night in which Parcombe was able to get the edge by 7-4 score, Locker Room trying to respond here tonight to have the chance to win their first championship in program history. But they have to win 2 more after losing last night's game. But in this series, anything is possible. Well, glad to have you with us here. Whether you're watching on the AABA Facebook page or YouTube channel, I'm Jake Irwin, providing you the play-by-play commentary. Thank you for making us a part of your Tuesday evening. Starting pitcher out there for Locker Room is Ty Rischel. Played first base yesterday, as they had Cooper Miller as their starter in last night's game. So Rischel will be towing the slab for the first time in this semifinal round. Looking at the starting lineup for Parcombe, it's James Davis leading off and playing short, followed by Mateo Williams catching. Lucas Musatelli, the opposing pitcher, in the number 3 spot. Jack Rowland at the hot corner. Trey Yarman at first base. Dylan Hescox at second. Kason Gamber in the number 7 spot at center field. Jack Davis at right and Colt Garvey at left. Starting lineup today here for Parcombe. Leading off for Parcombe is the shortstop, number 1, James Davis. Away we go here at John Kraft Field for game 2 of the AABA semifinals to see who punches their ticket to the championship game. First pitch ball here to James Davis, and first pitch is right on the dot, 6 o'clock p.m. Next offering. That one also just misses. 2-0 count here to start off James Davis. The 2-0. That one hits the zone. 2-1 now on Davis. Davis reached base all 3 times in last night's game with 2 walks and an RBI single. Now he stands in there with a 3-1 count. Here's the offering by Rischel. And he chops this one. Foul territory, almost making the catch along the fence was the first baseman, Cooper Miller, but it just tipped off of his glove as he got closer to that fence. And so now the count goes to 3-2. And the payoff, just outside, ball 4. So runner on first here to start off the at-bats for Park Home. The catcher, number 5, Mateo Williams. Up steps Mateo Williams. Doing the catching again here today for Park Home. First pitch he sees, he takes a swing at and strikes out to left field. Diving for it is Smith, making the catch. He dropped it, but he had enough time for it to count as a catch. And James Davis was able to get back to first in time, so they didn't double him up. That's one away. The pitcher, number 12, Lucas Musatelli. So now here's the opposing pitcher, Lucas Musatelli. Righty versus righty battle. It's this one high into the air, and it's going to be caught this time by Cooper Miller. A similar hit like that just a moment ago where it just popped out of his glove running along the fence. This time he's able to hold on to it. The third baseman, number 13, Jack Rowland. Now the cleanup hitter, Jack Rowland. Here's the pitch, and swings that off speed. 0-1 count. James Davis at first base after his walk. 2 outs here to start off this first inning. Here's the windup and Rischel's pitch. And that one getting away here from the catcher, Payson Steer. And a swing by Rowland. So as a result, James Davis was able to advance in the scoring position. 0-2 count here on Rowland with 2 outs and that runner on second base. Here's a windup and the 0-2. Bounces in and rolls its way to the backstop. And James Davis now advancing to third. Went from first to third in 2 pitches. Now a big RBI opportunity here for Jack Rowland. For Park Home to strike first. The 1-2. It's a grounder, and it's past the first baseman's reach. RBI single for Jack Rowland. 1-0 Park Home. The first baseman, number 99, Trey DeArmond. So now here's Trey DeArmond. Trey DeArmond takes a first pitch strike down the center of the plate. Next offering. That one hits the zone as well. Nice breaking ball right there. 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch. Swings at the high pitch for strike number 3, and the side is retired. So, Park Home is able to strike first after James Davis reached on a walk. He would advance 2 bases on 2 wild pitches, and then Jack Rowland would drive him in with an RBI single. So it's 1-0 Park Home in a game where if they win it, they punch their ticket to the championship game. Locker room bringing out the bats for the first time, coming up on the other side of this break here in the AABA Sports Network.
Hey, Sparky,
Yep.
we got one there.
Oh, okay. Yep. Leading on for locker room is the center fielder, number 7, Lawson Pazowski. So Lawson Pazowski gets us started off here for the locker room, trying to respond to that one run that was put on the board by Parcombe, courtesy of a Jack Rowland RBI single to score James Davis. Pazowski reached base all 3 times in last night's game with 3 singles, 2-0 count. Now here on Pazowski. One of those, an RBI single. 2-0 coming from Lucas Musatelli, starting pitcher here today for Parcombe, and it's in the zone for a 2-1 count. The wind-up and the pitch. Skies this one high into the air, right around second base. Shortstop Davis makes the catch, and that's one away. The shortstop, number 23, Connor Steer. So after the pop out to the shortstop, James Davis, it's the opposing shortstop, Connor Steer. And a half-hearted swing counts as a strike. For Connor Steer, at a single, reached on a fielder's choice and a ground out in last night's outing. One, and gives this one a rip out to left field. That's in for a base hit. Cutting it off is Garvey in left field to hold Connor Steer to a single. That's the first hit of the ball game for locker room. The first baseman, number 11, Cooper Miller. Cooper Miller, the number 3 batter in this locker room lineup. And the pitch. Skies this one into right field, giving a chase, and making the catch there is the right fielder, Jack Davis. For a second, it looked like he dropped it, but he did end up making the catch for out number 2. The pitcher, number 10, Ty Rischel. So after the fly out to right field, it's the cleanup batter, Ty Rischel. Pops up the first one he sees. Shortstop makes the grab, and a quick bottom of the first inning here for locker room. So we go to the second, where Parcombe will try to add on to their 1-0 lead. Back with more of the AABA semifinals after this quick break. Leading off for Park is the second baseman, number 27, Dylan Hexcott. Start of our second inning here in Game 2 of the AABA semifinals. First one that Hescock sees, he looks over the second baseman's head out into right center field. And Hescock is in with a single, his second hit of this series. The center fielder, number 10, Casey Gamber. So following that single by Dylan Hescox, we get Casey Gamber, the center fielder. First one he sees is hit to the shortstop off the backhand, throws it to second for one. That's all they get, but a great play there over at short by Connor Steer off the backhand to get the lead runner. The right fielder, number 11, Jack Davis. Fun attempt there, but it's fouled back. 0-1 count. Runner at first. And one away after Gamber reached on a fielder's choice, which Hescox was thrown out at second base. That nice backhand play by the shortstop, Connor Steer. Here's the 0-1, another bunt attempt. This one's fouled back, 0-2, and so it's going to be rather risky for Jack Davis to attempt another bunt. See if he tries to bunt here on 0-2. Might just be swinging at this point. And he is. Lays one down. The second for one. And the third base coach is insisting that he was off the base. Saying that he was in the air when he caught it. And it was close, but I think he just clipped the second base bag for out number 2. So chalk that up as yet another fielder's choice. The left fielder, number 14, Cole Garvey. Number 9 hitter Colt Garvey takes a high pitch for ball 1. 2 outs, runner on first, back-to-back fielder's choices. With the lead runner getting out at second base. Dodges out of the way of that one. Close to the zone, 2-0. And the 2-0, up and away. 3-0 on Garvey. Looking for his first hit of the semifinal round. And the 3-0 pitch. Down low for ball 4. And with that walk, Garvey reaches base for the first time in this series. Jack Davis goes to second, with Garvey now at first, and we go to the top of the order. The shortstop, number 1, James Davis. James Davis walked his last time up and would come around to score after an RBI single by Jack Rowland. Here's the pitch by Rischel, and that's in there for strike. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Jack Davis reaching on a fielder's choice, and then Colt Garvey with that walk. The 0-1 pitch, just a tad high, 1-1. The 1-1, and grounder sent over to the shortstop, throws to third to get the lead runner, and that'll put an end to the top of the second. So for Parcombe, 4 runners get on. Single by Hescox and back-to-back fielders' choices by Gamber and Jack Davis, and then walk by Colt Garvey. None of them able to score, though, so the game stays at 1-0 for Park home. We go to the bottom of the second. Our locker room. We'll try again with the bats. Back with more after the break. Leading off for locker room is the second baseman, number 22, Declan Lutz. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 for Park Home here in game 2 of this series. Park Home trying to win this game to advance to the championship round. Lucas Musatelli in his second inning pitching, and ball 1 to Declan Lutz. That run on the board coming from an RBI single by Jack Rowland to score James Davis. And the 1-0. Tapper sent down the third baseline, and looks like it is fair. Yes, it is. They're calling it a fair ball. It was close. So Declan Lutz is in with a single. The third baseman, number 3, Braden Augustine. So Lutz is on base for the second time in this series after he had a single last night. Behind inside on Braden Augustine. 1-0 count. Augustine had a walk in last night's game and would come around to score. The 1-0 on its way. Hard ball sent out to the shortstop, fielded beautifully on the backhand, throws a second for 1. Wow, great play there by the shortstop, James Davis, to get Declan Lutz at second base. What a beautiful play. The catcher, number 25, Mason Steer. So after the fielder's choice by Augustine, it's Mason Steer, the catcher, with his first at-bat of the evening, swatting at that one and missing for strike number 1. Wound up and the 0-1 on its way, down and outside. Last night's game, most of the runs came in that first inning when Park Home scored 4 and Locker Room scored 3. The difference maker was when Park Home scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th to pretty much put the game away. 2-1 count now here on Mason Steer. But yeah, after that big first inning in last night's game, both pitchers really settled down. It's just that Park Home's pitching from there on was more consistent, and the bats woke up a lot more in that 4th inning. 3-1 count here on Mason Steer. Both pitchers looked pretty solid, though, in that game. It's Cooper Miller and James Davis as the starters in game 1 of this series. Comes the 3-1 to Mason Steer, and a grounder sent over to the shortstop, throws it to second, and the throw is wide. Staying at second base, though, is Braden Augustine. And Mason Steer is on the base paths now with that errant throw. The left fielder, number 12, Tobias Smith. So up comes Tobias Smith, the left fielder, batting in the number 8 spot in the lineup tonight. Squares the bunt, third baseman running towards it, and it goes foul before he can get there in time. Good attempt there by the third baseman, Jack Rowland. That one was pretty foul from the get-go. Only way he was going to be able to snag that one was if it rolled fair. Augustine at second, Steer at first. 1 out. The 0-1 squaring a bunt again. This time he lays it down right in front of home plate. Throw to third to get the lead runner, and he gets him. 2 outs. Nicely done there by the catcher, Mateo Williams, to eliminate Augustine on the base paths. The right fielder, number 1, Carter Wilmot. Carter Wilmot is a pinch hitter in last night's game for Keelan Wyatt. Came in the 4th inning. First pitch to Wilmot, and he's swinging at the first one, but can't connect. 2 outs. Mason Steer at second base, Tobias Smith at first. And the 0-1 from Lucas Muscatelli, fouled back. It goes to 0-2. That 1 run on the board for Parcombe, courtesy of a Jack Rowland RBI single to score James Davis, in case you missed it. Set on the mound is Muscatelli. Fires his 0-2. In there for strike number 3. Painting the corners is Lucas Muscatelli, and the side will retire. So, locker room makes some noise on the base paths. A single by Declan Lutz, fielder's choice by Augustine, and then Mason Steer would reach on an error, followed by Tobias Smith on a fielder's choice. Runners had first and second base, but couldn't do anything with them. Score stays at 1-0. Back with more of the AABA semifinals here after the quick break. Leading off for Parcombe is the catcher, number 5, Mateo Williams. Mateo Williams gets us started off here to begin the third frame and fouls off the first pitch here against Ty Rischel, starting his third inning of work. 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up for Parcombe. And the 0-1. Beautiful off-speed pitch there. It just curved its way into the zone. 0-2. Both teams with a pair of hits to this point. The 0-2. And a bouncer Down the third baseline, Mateo might beat it out, and he does. Throw is wide by the pitcher, Rischel, allowing Mateo to advance to second base. Runner in scoring position for Parcombe. Great way to start this third inning if you're Parcombe, trying to build on that 1-0 lead you established in the first inning. The pitcher, number 12, Lucas Muscatelli. Lucas Muscatelli likes the first one along the third baseline, and making the catch is Braden Augustine, 1 away. The third baseman, number 13, John Rowland. So up comes the cleanup batter, Jack Rowland. First pitch, rounds one of the shortstop, throws it over to first to get out number 2, advancing to third, and the tag is applied, and they say Mateo Williams was under it. Getting some arguments now here by locker room's dugout. And yeah, the umpire's argument is that he was under that tag, so that's why Mateo Williams was able to get safely to third base. The first baseman, number 99, Trey DeArmond. So 2 outs, and Mateo Williams at third base. Trey DeArmond trying to drive him in. Strike 1. It's good effort, though, by locker room on that play. Throwing it across the diamond and nearly getting Mateo Williams. 0-2 now here on DeArmond, who struck out in his last appearance. It's good to see that the chat is pretty active tonight. Mr. Buchanan is back, watching from the Outer Banks, and a new face in the comment section that I did not expect to see, which is Ethan Ronan, co-worker of mine from when I was with the Altoona Curve. Proud back. Count remains at 0-2. We've had people from all over the country watching these streams. Had yesterday someone watching from Texas, Florida, and of course the Outer Banks with Mr. Buchanan. Swine popped up along the third base line, and it is called a foul. So we'll do another 0-2 count. And Mr. Ronan saying that he just hopes that both teams are having fun, and yes, it does seem that they're both having fun. So 0-2 coming up here against Trey DeArmond in his second at bat, and grounds one over to the second baseman, fields it cleanly and throws it to first to end the top of the third inning. So Mateo Williams is able to get all the way to third base, but 3 straight outs recorded by Ty Rischel on the mound to avoid Parcombe from building on their 1-0 lead. We go to the bottom of the third after a quick break here on the AABA Sports Network. Leading on for locker room is the center fielder, number 7, Lawson Pazowski. Welcome back here in the AABA Sports Network, where Lawson Pazowski steps in to the left-handed batter's box for his second at-bat of the game after popping out to the shortstop, his first trip up. It's ball 1 here. Lucas Musatelli starting his third inning of work. In case you missed it, it was an RBI single by Jack Rowland to score James Davis. That's how Parcombe got that run on the board back in the first inning. Next one sliced out to shallow center field, drops in for a base hit. And that's what Pazowski does best. He finds ways to reach base. Does it again there with a single, his first hit of the ball game. The shortstop, number 23, Connor Steer. Connor Steer watches that one up and away and bounces off of Williams' glove, so that allows Pazowski to advance into scoring position with nobody out. Locker room trying to respond to that run on the board by Parcombe. Good opportunity to do that here with a runner in scoring position, nobody out, and a hit into center field here by Connor Steer. Rounding third and coming in to score Pazowski, and he is in, sliding safely. And winding up at third base is Connor Steer, advancing there on the throw, an RBI double by Mr. Steer. Give us a 1-1 ball game. And now a mound visit coming here for Lucas Musatelli. So the mound meeting is over, and it's going to be Cooper Miller stepping up. The first baseman, number 11, Cooper Miller. Connor Steer at third base after his big RBI double to score Lawson Pazowski and tie this ball game up. Locker room, of course, needing to win this game. They want a shot of advancing the championship after Parcombe won last night in this 3-game series. Play the winner of the Holsinger's Plumbing and LS Fury series, where Holsinger leads it 1-0. Game directly following this one for a 7:45 first pitch. Deep foul ball to the right side and lands foul, so a 2-1 count. Here on Cooper Miller, who flew out to right field in his first plate appearance. We have somebody else at the beach watching this stream. Darren Cannon from Myrtle Beach. Thank you, Darren, for checking into the stream here. So we have somebody in the Outer Banks and Myrtle Beach. 3 balls and a strike here on Cooper Miller. Runner on third with nobody out. This one launched out to deep left field, and it's off the wall. Into scores Connor Steer, and in with an RBI double is Cooper Miller to give Locker Room their first lead of the game. The pitcher, number 10, Ty Rishel. 2 quick runs put up here by the locker room bats. Grounder sent over to the shortstop. Davis throws to first, and it's a high throw. Doesn't get the out. Into third base is Cooper Miller, and at first safely is Ty Rishel. Runners on the corners with nobody out. The second baseman, number 22, Declan Wise. Get some signs from his third base coach before we resume play. Now ready to go. Declan Lutz singled in his first plate appearance. Here's the pitch from Musatali. Strike 1. And getting to second base, looking for a throw is Ty Rishel, but he'll just take the bag. Was looking to maybe force an errant throw by Mateo Williams, but he wisely just kept it in his pocket. Cooper Miller at third, Ty Rishel at second. Here comes the 0-1, lined out to left field, and it drops in for a base hit. Another run's going to come in to score. 3-1 ball game. With Ty Rishel at third and an RBI single by Declan Lutz, multi-hit game for Lutz. The third baseman, number 3, Brendan Augustine.
44.
Brendan Augustine trying to join in on the party now. First pitch strike, throw to the shortstop. And caught between first and second is Declan Lutz, and he just retreats back to first base. So an RBI double by Connor Steer, as well as one from Cooper Miller. And then that RBI single by Declan Lutz to build this 3-1 lead for Locker Room. 1-1 here in Augustine. Now taking off for second base is Lutz. So Rishel at third and Lutz at second. The 1-1 smacked out deep to left field, and it's over the left fielder's head. 2 runs are going to score here. 2 RBI double for Augustine. Makes it a 5-1 Locker Room lead. And now an errant throw, and that's going to allow Augustine to advance to third. The wheels are just falling off here for Park Home. And now it looks like he's just going to be forced to go back to second base. And now another mound visit coming. See whether they replace Lucas Musatali or not. Wow. How about these bats for Locker Room? I mean, trailing 1-0, and then they put together 5 runs here in this bottom of the third inning. And a new pitcher will enter the game here for Park Home. We'll tell you all about him after this quick break here in the AABA Sports Network.
Hey, let's go.
Now pitching for Park Home is number 13, Jack Rowland.
You let that change third pitch.
Third pitch, yep. The catcher, number 25, Mason Steer. So it's Jack Rowland moving over from third base to pitcher, and Lucas Musatelli going over to third base. First batter he faces will be Mason Steer, takes strike one. Braden Augustine at second base after his 2 RBI double to score Ty Rischel and Declan Lutz. And strike two. Still no outs here in the bottom of this third inning. In the 0-2. Up and away, 1-2. Steer reached on an error. The last time he was up at the plate. And a swing and strikeout here for Mason Steer. Is how locker room gets their first out after the previous 6 batters all reached. The left fielder, number 12, Tobias Smith. Outside on Tobias Smith. Got on with a fielder's choice. Braden Augustine still parked at second base after his 2 RBI double. That evens the count at 1-1 after the Smith swing. All 5 of those runs on the board for locker room coming in this bottom of the third inning. Here's the 1-1 outside, 2-1. Jack Rowland entering for his first inning of relief work for starter Lucas Musatelli. Comes a 2-1. Delayed swing at that one. Leads to back-to-back Ks recorded here by Jack Rowland in the first 2 batters that he's faced. Number 39, Keelan Wyatt. So Keelan Wyatt, a pinch hitter for Carter Wilmot, takes strike number 1. One and one count now. Augustine still at second base. Rowland facing his 3rd batter here in relief work. Struck out the previous 2. Trying to make that a trifecta of strikeouts here with a 1-2 count on Keelan Wyatt. In the 1-2. Swinging through that one for strike number 3. 3 consecutive Ks recorded by Rowland. In the side will retire. So a big inning for locker room with the bats. An RBI double by Connor Steer and Cooper Miller, followed by an RBI single by Declan Lutz and a 2 RBI double by Braden Augustine to give locker room this 5-1 lead in what is an elimination game for them. We'll see if Parcombe is able to respond in the top of the 4th or not. That's coming up here after this quick break.
Let's go, guys. Hey.
Hitting off for Park Home is the second baseman, number 27, Dylan Escott. Dylan Escott gets the bat started here for Park Home, beginning of this fourth frame. Ty Rischel out there for his fourth inning of work, and the first one he sees is an absolute bullet up the middle. Escott's with a multi-hit game, had a single last time, and he's got another one here. The center fielder, number 10, Casey Gamber. So after that electric hit there by Dylan Escott's, Casey Gamber try to move Escott's over into scoring position. The 0-1. This one high into the air behind home plate, and it's going to leave the ballpark. 0-2. Now here on Gamber. Reach base with a fielder's choice. And the 0-2. Gamber fouls this one off. This Park Home team, 20-5 record this season, good for second in the standings. 4-1 in their last 5 games, and 8-2 in their last 10 outings. Comes the 0-2 pitch and goes fishing for that elevated off-speed pitch, staying alive with an 0-2 count after 2 consecutive fouls off the bat of Gamber. Throughout this entire 2024 campaign, these teams are tied in the series at 2-2. In there for strike number 3, outer half of the plate. Down goes Gamber with the backwards K. Runner at first with 1 out. The right fielder, number 11, Jack Davis. So up comes Jack Davis, who also got on with a fielder's choice. Escott's at first after his single. The 8-9-1 hitters due up. Down and outside, 1-0 count. For locker room, they're 20-7 on the season, third in the standings. Lays down a bunt here. It's a pretty good one. Steer picks it up and nearly overthrows his first baseman, Miller, but he's able to reel it in. Advancing to second base is Escott's. That was close. So 2 away with Escott's at second base. The left fielder, number 14, Cole Garvey. Cole Garvey walked in his first at-bat. Swinging away at the first pitch for strike number 1. Rischel ready on the rubber. His kick and 0-1 deal. And slides its way into the outer portion of the strike zone, 0-2. Outfield playing medium depth. Slight breeze out there, blowing from right to left field. Righty versus righty battle, the 0-2, and it's a grounder sent over to Rischel, who flips it over to first to get out number 3 here on Park Home.
Jack Davis and right.
So after Dylan Hescox reaches on a single, 3 consecutive outs recorded by Rischel on the mound. 5-1 lead for Locker Room. Going to try to add on to that in the bottom of the 4th. More baseball coming up here after the break.
Off the order here. Let's go.
Leading off for Locker Room is the center fielder, number 7, Lawson Pazowski. Back here for more of the AABA semifinals. Game 2. Locker Room is trying to hang on to their 5-1 lead to even the series up and force a Game 3 tomorrow evening. I'm Jake Irwin, providing you the play-by-play commentary. Nice to have you on board wherever you're watching from, whether it's Myrtle Beach or the Outer Banks or South Florida or Texas. We thank you for watching, whether you're on the Facebook page or the YouTube channel. 1-1 even count here in Lawson Pazowski in his second at-bat. Make it 1-2. Pop out to the shortstop and a single previous to this at-bat. And the 1-2 from Roland. Swats it out to his third base coach. Roland set on the rubber. And the right-hander fires. Right off the leg of Roland, bounces towards first base, but nobody able to make a play on it. Multi-hit game for Lawson Pazowski with back-to-back singles. The shortstop, number 23, Connor Steer. Connor Steer, already with a multi-hit game, a single and an RBI double. As part of that 5-run third inning that this Locker Room team had. Five runs and 5 hits. That's a wild pitch, allowing Pazowski to cruise his way into second base. 1-1 count on Connor Steer. One outside, 2-1. There was an RBI double by both Connor Steer and Cooper Miller. An RBI single by Declan Lutz and a 2 RBI double by Braden Augustine as part of that 5-run third inning for Locker Room. 3-1 count here on Connor Steer. And Park Home scored with that RBI single by Jack Rowland in the first inning. The 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Connor Steer discards the bat and reaches base for the third time in this game. Pazowski at second, Steer at first with nobody out. the first baseman, number 11, Cooper Miller. Cooper Miller, that fly out to right. And that RBI double that was just mentioned a moment ago. Righty versus righty battle. And the 0-1, just downstairs, 1-1 even count.
Get to the bases to cover. Quit walking. Get the one you like.
Roland in his second inning of relief work. That's one down low towards the turf. Nice job, though, by Mateo Williams to jump out of his stance and get up ready to throw in case either of those runners decided to advance. 2-1. Grounder sent right back to Roland. Was thinking about going to get the lead runner. Instead, messes up the throw to first, and that allows everybody to be safe. Oh, costly mistake there. Was going to try to get the lead runner, turned around, and then fired a low ball over to first. The pitcher, number 10, Ty Rischel. So now bases loaded. Pizowski with a single, Connor Steer with a walk, and then Cooper Miller reaching on an error. First pitch here to Rischel, right down Main Street for strike number 1. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. 5-1, prime opportunity for Locker Room to try and put this game away and force a game 3. The 0-1, well short of the plate. In to score is Pizowski. We have a 6-1 ball game. Everybody moves up a bag. Connor Steer at third, Cooper Miller at second. 1-1 even count here on Ty Rischel. Has 2 ducks on the pond in scoring position. High hopping ball over to third base. Can't make a play on it. Throw home is wide. We have a 7-1 ball game. Going to second base is Ty Rischel. Some fielding changes here by Park Home.
Underman in for Lucas Puscatelli. He's going to center. And Jason Gamer went to third. Thank you.
So the changes there. Hank Klingerman to center. Jason Gamber to third. Second baseman, number 22, Declan Lutz. Just outside, good stop there by Mateo Williams. Gives a look over there at Cooper Miller at third. (7-1) Locker room lead. Grounder sent over to the second baseman, goes past him. Should allow 2 runs to score. And it will. 9-1 locker room lead. They're just pouring it on now. On the hit by Declan Lutz. 2 RBI single. The third baseman, number 3, Braden Augustine. Bounces that one well short of the plate. And Declan Lutz able to reach second base easily on that wild pitch after his 2 RBI single. And a 1-0 count here on Braden Augustine, fielder's choice, and 2 RBI double for the locker room third baseman on the evening. Next one finds the zone, 1-1 count. Locker room looking to force a game 3 after they lost 7-4 last night. Down and away. 2-1. That one just at about knee level, 2-2 even count. Couple runs scoring on wild pitches, and then 2 RBI single by Declan Lutz. Right down the first base line it goes. That's a base hit. That'll allow another run to score. Augustine going into second base. We have a 10-1 ball game. He's going for an RBI triple, and he gets it. Braden Augustine with his third RBI of the game. After his 2 RBI double in the third, he gets an RBI triple. The catcher, number 25, Mason Steer. These past couple innings, locker room's bats have been absolutely potent. Unbelievable what they've been able to muster here against Jack Rowland in relief for Lucas Musatelli. Comes a 1-0. It's important to note that if locker room's able to get that runner in from third, this ball game's over with the mercy roll. There's nobody out, mind you. Mason Steer has the chance to win this ball game here for locker room. Swinging away at that one, 2-1 count. This one tapped foul right off the catcher, Mateo Williams, and he is down. So he'll need an extra second for a breather. And when looking at the matchups this year between these two teams, most of them have been fairly close for the most part. Their first meeting, locker room won 7-6, and then Park Home won 7-1. Locker room with a 5-0 victory after that, and then the game last night, Park Home won 7-4. So this is by far the biggest blowout up to this point that we've seen between these two teams this year. Offers at that high pitch. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3 here on Mason Steer for the first out here in the bottom of this fourth inning. All locker room needs to do is get Braden Augustine in from third, and they win this ball game with a mercy roll. The left fielder, number 12, Tobias Smith. Stepping up is the aid hitter, Tobias Smith. Fielder's choice and a strikeout for him today. Squares the bunt, and it's a strike. Missing that bunt there, trying to pull off the squeeze there. Comes the 0-1 and lays down a bunt. This is going to be an interesting play. Can they get the third base runner? He's safe. They call him safe at home. He got around the tag. That's the ball game. What a way to end it. What a great game. Locker room making it interesting here in this series after they lost 7-4 last night. They come out and mercy roll Park Home by an 11-1 score. Tobias Smith laying down that bunt. The squeeze working to perfection right there to get Braden Augustine in from third. Somehow avoided that tag there from Mateo Williams at home plate. It looked like for sure he was going to be tagged out, but got his leg around that mid of Williams, and because of that, we have an 11-1 final score. We will have a Game 3 tomorrow evening. So 5 runs by Locker Room in the third inning, followed by 6 here in the fourth inning to shock Park Home And now Locker Room leads them 3-2 through their 5 matchups this season. So coming up will be Game 2 of the series between Holsinger's Plumbing and LS Fury. So we'll have a stream on the Facebook page and YouTube channel. So find out in that one whether Holsinger's is able to punch their ticket to the title match, or if LS Fury forces a Game 3.
50-50? 336-196.
Ladies and gentlemen, please get out your 50-50 tickets. Tonight's winning 50-50 number is 336-196. Again, that winning number is 336-196. Those are the numbers on your ticket. Go to the concession stand to claim your prize. Thank you for playing. So that'll do it for Game 2 of the AABA semifinals for Parkcombe and Locker Room. Locker Room winning 11-1 after a 5-run third inning and a 6-run fourth inning for the Mercy Rule. Game 2 of Holsinger's Plumbing and LS Fury coming up here shortly for a 7:45 first pitch. Be sure to stay tuned here on the Facebook page and YouTube channel for coverage of that here on the AABA Sports Network.